Johnny Drama losing a pot to Zgaga to get Zgaga's stack back up. And Johnny down to just over 7,000. Did threaten to run away with it at one stage. Could still, of course. FlyingSumo will open this hand. And Johnny Drama just flat calling. On those spots where he probably mixes up flat calling with 3 betting. We're heads up. Top pair for Johnny. And flush draw for FlyingSumo. FlyingSumo does check. I don't think Johnny will be slow playing. No, he does go ahead and bet with 3 hearts on board. Call from FlyingSumo and an obligatory heart on the turn. Nice catch by the Norwegian player. He's just going to check it though. And Johnny also checks. And Queen of Diamonds on the river. Now, how much will FlyingSumo bet? I'm sure he will bet. Well, it's a small bet. I think Johnny can just call this. And no, he does fold. Well, disciplined stuff from him. He's not a bigger station as me. But then who is? FlyingSumo up to 6,000 in chips. And Johnny Drama now back in the pack. Very different final table now. vluff's actually the chip leader. But all the stacks pretty close together. When it looked like Johnny at one stage was going to just dominate things. Now got a pretty close run thing. Johnny Drama staying active though, opening the King 5. vluff just flat calling Ace Queen suited. Zgaga will come along for the ride. We'll have 3 of them for this flop. And it's not exactly a dream flop for any of them. Zgaga with top pair does go to the lead. Gets checked around, and that's way too dangerous a flop for Johnny to c-bet. 2 of spades gives him the flush draw. 5 also gives him the bad end of the straight draw. And as you can see, he'll win this a third of the time. Zgaga still in front with top pair, though. vluff with nothing whatsoever. And vluff bets 120 chips. If you know why vluff bet 120 chips, then do email me, because I have no clue. Zgaga raises with top pair. Very small raise, though, and Johnny Drama calls with his 2-way draw. And hits a 4. Well, he's caught some rivers this final table, Johnny. This time the 4 makes him the straight. And he will bet. And what does Zgaga do? Perfectly possible Johnny had one of the 2 flush draws. Could have had one of the 2 flush draws with a pair that he's now turning into a bluff. And yeah, Zgaga does call. I think you can understand the call. But he gets the bad news that the chips he just won off Johnny, he's given back to him. Johnny Drama up to almost 9,000. Johnny Drama with a more successful poker career than an acting career. He's final tabled the Sunday warm-up twice. And also final tabled the Sunday 500 just 10 weeks ago. So some nice results for him. Another nice one here, whatever happens. 5th place is guaranteed $15,500. And the cashes go up to $62,000 for the winner. And of course, the WCOOP title, which is way more important, and the bracelet. Interesting hand here. Raise from Johnny, re-raise from vluff, and Gaga will shove with the ace-queen and didn't even think about it. I think he has to shove there with his chip stack and with the 2 aggressive players in front of him. vluff will call, getting good price on that call. And this is a great spot for Zgaga. Dominates vluff's hand, can double up here. Oh, 9 is a cruel turn for him. Now he needs to catch a queen or a jack on the river. Ace is no good for him. Zgaga gets pretty unlucky in this hand. Was the short stack, needed to win that one, and now hits the rail. 5th place for the Slovenian player, $15,500 for him.
Sometimes in a tournament, you're going to get low on chips. Gotta push them all in to stay alive. And then you wait. Are you ready for tournament poker? At the world's largest poker site, PokerStars.com.
4 players remain in with a shout of the title in Event 5 of this year's WCOOP, the 320 No Limit Hold'em Shootout. Vluff and Johnny Drama, your chip leads with a 4,000 chip lead over GB 2005 and FlyingSumo. Blinds of 60, 120 mean our 2 shorter stacks have about, I'm gonna say, 47 big blinds, because I can't really believe any of you listening will work it out precisely. Johnny Drama raises and Vluff flat calls, and FlyingSumo will come along 3-handed for this pot. Already 1,000 in the middle, and straight draw for FlyingSumo. Johnny Drama with the best hand right now, and position, of course. Vluff with ace queen. Now, traditionally, he'll bet a meaningless amount in this spot. No, mixing it up. He checks, FlyingSumo checks his straight draw. Possibly an argument for leading out there. Might win the pot a lot of the time with a bet. Johnny Drama is going to bet middle pair. Now, does FlyingSumo play this fast or less fast? It is less fast. Just calls. 5 of clubs on the turn. Once again, FlyingSumo holds the 9 of the suit with 3 on board. So flush and straight draw. Now he's going to donk. Well, Johnny still has the hand that's ahead, but it's pretty tough for him to know that right now. I'm not sure what he can do here. If he calls this, can he call a river shove? Really not much he could do. So FlyingSumo bets his draw on the turn and takes it down. Still 4-handed, hand 189. GB 2005 is your short stack. He is a Sunday Million winner back in January 2007. And Battle of the Planets in November 2008. I don't remember him in Battle of the Planets, actually. I remember Tiny. And I remember Princess. Google it, if you like. It does age me that I know what it is. Flat calls with 8s. And still the best hand, as you can see. FlyingSumo with the straight flush draw, though. Could see some fireworks here. GB 2005 will check for now. FlyingSumo probably happy to shovel money in. Does bet his straight flush draw. And GB 2005 check raises. So action back on FlyingSumo. Will they get the money in? I can't see FlyingSumo doing anything other than committing himself. That is what he does. And GB 2005 doesn't think for very long. Shoves the money into the middle. FlyingSumo will call. And we've got the biggest pot of the final table so far. Almost a coin flip. FlyingSumo trying to catch here. 4 of spades changes nothing. GB 2005 screaming hold at his TV screen. And it does hold. Well, big sweat for both players. FlyingSumo would have been crippled but not out. GB 2005's tournament would have been over. But his 8s hold up. And wouldn't you know it, he's gone from short stack to chip lead in one big coin flip. FlyingSumo now your short stack, but has picked up an easy way back into things. The Cowboys in the big blind. He can shove. I think Johnny has to call here. He does. FlyingSumo's all in. Needs these kings to hold up, which obviously they will do most of the time. Ooh, it doesn't look like this is one of those times. 2 pair for Johnny on the flop. And 3 of diamonds on the turn. No good. FlyingSumo needs to catch a king. Oh, this is a pretty unlucky exit for him. Not much he can do about that, is there? Loses a huge flip. And then loses with pocket kings. Unlucky for the Norwegian player. $23,000 into his stars account, though. Leaves us 3-handed. 3 players left with a shot at the title and the bracelet. 200 hands they've played at these final tables so far. It's pretty close, isn't it? Vluff is the short stack, but really not much in it at all. And they're still pretty deep stacked as well. GB 2005, not too far short of 100 big blinds. Johnny Drama, you'd have to say, has probably been the most aggressive player at the table. 3 bets here, and GB 2005's onto him. Doesn't think Johnny has a real hand. Decides to 4-bet. Now, this is the spot that's becoming more and more common in no-limit hold'em tournaments. the buttons versus the blinds and the who will blink first raising war. Well, Johnny is the man to blink on this occasion.